why don't we open ourselves to a few questions from
absolutely.
the floor? Yeah.
Questions? Don't be shy.
I'd like to ask not about the economy exactly, but about Ayn Rand's context of philosophy. Can you explain a little bit what made her unique in the history of philosophy?
So the question is, what made Ayn Rand unique in the history of philosophy? So I think the first thing that is unique about Ayn Rand, at least in modern philosophy, is that Ayn Rand was what we called a system builder. She had a comprehensive philosophy. She had something to say about metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, politics, and even aesthetics, even the arts. Very few philosophers in all of human history have had that. Plato, Aristotle, Immanuel Kant, and that's pretty much it in terms of having a comprehensive philosophy about everything. She also innovated in every single one of these. She had something new to say about metaphysics, about epistemology, about ethics, about politics, about aesthetics. She, I think, is the first philosopher to have this system integrated around the idea of reality as existing independent of consciousness. Reality is what it is. The things out there are there. And the idea that we can comprehend that reality using our reason. And that really is the theme that goes throughout her philosophy. Because you think about her ethics is about using our reason to enhance our own life. And she's the first philosopher since Aristotle to say that the purpose of ethics is not to sacrifice to others, but to lead a flourishing, successful life for ourselves. All philosophy, almost all philosophy, with maybe the acceptance of Spinoza, all philosophers since Aristotle, again with the exception of Spinoza, all focused on morality as living for others in one way or another, sacrificing. Virtue was about how you would sacrifice to other people and who to sacrifice to. Rand is the first one since Aristotle to really bring back the focus on self, on how to make yourself, virtues and values for the purpose of living the best life one can live. Human flourishing, human success. And that's really the core of her ethics, reality of her philosophy. Reality, reason, egoism or self-interest. Right? Everything else is derivative from that. Does that capture what you were looking for? Good.
Miss Rand's point of view is still comparatively unknown in America, but if it ever did take hold, it would revolutionize our lives. And Ayn, to begin with, I wonder if I can ask you to capsulize, I know this is difficult, can I ask you to capsulize your philosophy? What is Randism?
First of all, I do not call it Randism, and I don't like that name. I call it objectivism.
All right.
Meaning a philosophy based on objective reality. Now let me explain it as briefly as I can. First, my philosophy is based on the concept that reality exists as an objective absolute. That man's mind, reason, is his means of perceiving it. And that man needs a rational morality. I am primarily the creator of a new code of morality which has so far been believed impossible, namely a morality not based on faith.
On faith?
Not on faith, not on arbitrary whim, not on emotion, not on arbitrary edict, mystical or social, but on reason. A morality which can be proved by means of logic, which can be demonstrated to be true and necessary.
How does objectivism differ from the philosophies that many of us have been exposed to in our youths? Philosophies based upon religions, theologians, dogmatists.
The very first difference, objectivism tells you that it is not right, it is not proper to man to take anything on faith. Religion is a matter of faith. You accept a religion emotionally or because you were born to it. You have not chosen it rationally. What objectivism will tell you is that reason, man's reason, is his basic means of survival. That is the most important faculty which he has, and he has to guide his life and make his choices by means of his rational faculty. He has to make his own choices, but he has to know how to make them. It is immoral for him to act on his emotions, to be guided by the whim of the moment. That objectivism holds as very wrong, very immoral. And morality, in fact, consists of following your reason to the best of your ability. So that rationality is the basic virtue from which all the others proceed.
My morality is based on man's life as a standard of value. And since man's mind is his basic means of survival, I hold that if man wants to live on earth and to live as a human being, he has to hold reason as an absolute, by which I mean that he has to hold reason as his only guide to action, and that he must live by the independent judgment of his own mind, that his highest moral purpose is the achievement of his own happiness, and that he must not force other people, nor accept their right to force him, that each man must live as an end in himself and follow his own rational self-interest.
Tell me the value of selfishness.
Use another word, self-esteem. The value of selfishness is that you esteem yourself as a value, that you live according to your nature, which means by the judgment of your own mind, and you respect your own mind, you respect your own ability to do the right thing, therefore you respect the possibility of being a morally virtuous person, and you regard yourself as a value worth preserving. To make a success of yourself in any line of rational activity is a great virtue. And people will attack you for exercising your ability, for hard work, for consistency, for ambition. And they will want to make you feel guilty of it. That is the greatest evil, according to my philosophy.
And wait, say that again. The greatest evil, according to your philosophy, is to attack an individual because of virtue.
What I call it is to experience or act on hatred of the good for being the good. That is attacking people for their virtues, for their achievements, for anything they have which is a value, actually, not for their flaws and not for their evil. In fact, people who preach that are the ones who are mawkish about the evil people, the failures, the liars, the cheats. Everybody who is weak suddenly acquires some kind of value. But anyone who is a success has to be attacked for his success.
And look at how you have been attacked.
Oh, I know.
How you have been criticized. There
know
are many people in this country, forgive me, in this world who think you're daft.
They don't. They want you to think that.